Over 25 years, every time we start these workshops, we begin with our first project, which is to have that discussion where we talk to participants and try to understand what their talents are. And only when we identify these talents can we mold them, can we shape them into marketable products or services. Now, ever so often, I had students saying to me, "Oh, sir, we don't know what skills we have, and that's the reason why life has brought us to you." So I start with this little story, the story of a fisherman who every morning went to the river bank and tried to get fish that he could sell to the village. So one morning he woke up very early and thought, "Oh, there's no point going back to sleep. Why don't I get an early head start?" So he goes to the river bank. Now, it's pitch dark, so early that he couldn't see anything and his foot kicked something. So in the darkness, he fumbled and picked it up, and it was a little bag apparently filled with some stones. Some kid must have filled that up. So he holds that and goes and sits on the bank of the river, waiting for the sunrise. Out of boredom, he starts contemplating his life, thinking, "Oh, isn't life unfair? Look at the world news, people with private jets, yachts, luxury yachts, living in mansions. And why did I have to be born in this village to this poor family? And God himself is deaf. Every night I pray and he never thinks of blessing me. Oh, how pitiful I am." And then out of that boredom, he opens the bag, takes out one by one of those pebbles and starts flinging them into the river and watching to see how far he could throw them. Finally, he comes down to the last few pebbles. He still carries on. The sun comes up, and then now he can see. So he goes and gets the last pebble and then looks at it, and his heart sinks. He is holding one of the biggest diamonds that man could possibly see. One. Can you imagine the fury he felt, the hatred that he had within his heart? Because on one side, now his mind is telling him, you were praying to God, you had a handful, a bag full of these diamonds, which would have made you the richest man in the country. And because it was dark. Oh, don't blame yourself. You didn't willingly throw it. But you at least have one. Don't feel too bad. And yes, he took that one. And he made something out of his life with that little one gem, that treasure. In the same way, we all, each and every one of us, we've all got that little bag with talents that we have come into this world with. But it is in the darkness of ignorance, well, we are unable to take it to market. Let me give you a real workplace example about this. I once was at a supermarket and I saw this kid, a teenager, not tall, but something about this person, this boy's face, made me feel that yes, this is a very photogenic face. So I approached him and I said, "Have you ever tried modeling?" He says, "Oh, sir, I'm not that tall." I said, "Yeah, you may not be," he said, "but I think you should give it a go." Now, to his credit, something within him also lit up, and he came to me, he says, "Okay, show me what do I mean. I can't go on the catwalks." And I said to him, "You don't have to be that kind of model. Not all the businesses can afford all these models that these big luxury brands can afford. Go and get some good photographs of yourself. And he came to me and I took some pictures of him. And I said, now go to all these small businesses, show them your pictures. Then I said, all right, let's go to a supermarket, take pictures of clothing shops, and then using Photoshop, take out those pictures of some clothes that they had put up there and put his picture there. And then go and show them, this is what your boutique can look like if you use my pictures as a model for your brand. Guess what? He approached 10. 7 of those brands signed him up. So always remember, in the darkness of ignorance, don't throw away your talents.